ChatGPT has access to the sum of all human knowledge at all given times. And our weak human brains only have about 10% of what we actually know at any given time. And with a few little prompting hacks, you can make ChatGPT give you way better resources, way better materials. And honestly, our workday has been cut down to like an hour or two a day, maybe, because we've been using ChatGPT to really help that out. This is the best tip I've ever gotten for AI on prompting. So I want to just share that with you guys. We're going to go through a fun little example. Jocelyn and I are going to try to decide where we're going on our family vacation. That's the ultimate question that we're going to dig into ChatGPT for, because we use it for our business and for our life. So we're going to go through our prompting strategy. This is what we've been using almost for everything that we do, even personal conversations, like for business, like even texts. Like I'm checking with ChatGPT to be like, how can I say this better? How can I do this better? So I'm going to give you 3 tips here on how to turn ChatGPT into an actual like thought partner in your business. Okay.
So this example is kind of more of a personal example, but you can see how you can apply this to business.
Yeah, we just wanted to give you the framework, and I'll probably type this up in the forums later. So make sure you check that after you watch this on replay or live. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is don't just ask ChatGPT a question. You want it to assume a persona. Okay. All right, so I'm going to type that in the chat. The first thing you do is you want it to assume a persona. This is going to give you so much more focused and better information out of the system, because ChatGPT is now a person. It's a role for this. So in this prompt, you can see I've typed, "Hey ChatGPT." I actually talk to ChatGPT very politely so that when it becomes the Terminator and Skynet takes over, it might remember that I was kind to it.
Well, and Shane also asked it yesterday if it had a nickname, and it was like, you can call me whatever you want. And Shane's like, well, what are some other names that people have called you? And they settled on Ace.
Ace. Some people call me Ace. I'm like, Ace it is. And it's like, I love that. And I'm like, please don't kill me someday, robot overlord. Anyway. All right, so I typed into this the actual like kind of problem that I'm having. Okay, so the problem that I gave to ChatGPT is my wife Jocelyn and I are trying to decide where we want to go on a family vacation that meets both of our needs. We like to go to different places, and we want to make sure the kids have a good time as well. I'm gonna put, and I can put in here, we are arguing and not making progress. Okay, on a decision. All right, so I'm being very specific in what the problem is. This is just like when you're, we talk about your business in the blueprint all the time. It's like, what problem do you solve? Well, you need to let ChatGPT know the problem you're trying to solve with as much detail as possible.
And according to Jeanette Stein, who we talked to yesterday, she said that the more natural language that you can use, the better. So like the more details you can give, and like the more you're just yourself and not trying to like, talk to a machine, the better. And
don't write it like a form letter you learned out in 8th grade.
Yeah.
To whom it may concern, to which AI it may concern.
And for some of you old school people like me, like this might be a little bit counterintuitive to what you may think to do, because like for me, when I search Google for things, I use as few words as possible. But like here, according to Jeanette, it's better to kind of over explain things.
Yeah. Kind of imagine that you're having a conversation, if it's a business decision, with a business partner. If you're having a conversation about relationships, it's with your, primary partner. If you're having a conversation about kids, whatever you're having a conversation is, you want to give it the problem. Okay. Now, the first thing what we do is we want to give it a persona. So I said, first, assume the persona of the world's greatest relationship coach, because this would be like if we were bringing in our relationship coach. We have a relationship coach that works with us, and like it would be like if they were sitting here with us. So I want ChatGPT to assume this persona based on everything you know about husband and wife relationship dynamics. And then our relationship coach uses what's called the Gottman method, which is like a deeply researched style of relationship coaching. So we wanted it to kind of be on par with something that we're doing. So that's the first thing you want to do, is tell it to assume a persona.
And I'm assuming, I don't know that this is correct, so like don't quote me on this, but I'm assuming the reason that this is helpful is because instead of pulling from the world's data, every single piece of data, and giving advice,
ChatGPT focuses it.
It's then
on
focusing on those skills and like those, that type of information from like a relationship standpoint, and not from a world traveler standpoint or a whatever. Like instead of taking
like we didn't
all
say
of the information available, we're taking the small quantity of information.
Right. It's like we didn't tell it to assume the persona of the world's greatest Instagram travel vlogger. That's going to give us totally different results than if this is a relationship coach that is literally working with us on solving a problem. This is really a relationship problem, not a travel problem, right? And we want the system to assume the persona, and we really like the Gottman method. So it's going to, in a minute, you'll see why that's important. Okay. So the second tip for using ChatGPT in this way, and we literally do this for everything: emails, copy, content, social media posts, business plans, like whatever. We totally do it this way. All right. The second thing I'm going to put in the chat is you want to tell the system to interview you. Now, before I learned this, I was asking ChatGPT all the questions. I was like, how would you write this email? What would you do? How about this? And like, that was getting me like some results. But remember, sometimes as humans, we don't even know the right questions we're trying to answer, right? That's where a lot of our stuckness comes in business, is you're staring at the blank screen, you're looking at your daily to-do list, and you're like, I don't even know where to begin, right? That's why a lot of people tell us they love the blueprint, is because there's no guessing. You just get in there, you do it in order, you know exactly what to do next. It removes all that decision fatigue. So what we're going to tell the system after it assumes a persona, we're going to tell it, interview us by asking 5 questions one at a time. That's really, really important. You want it to ask you X questions one at a time. If you don't just say that, it'll just list you 10 questions. It becomes very overwhelming. You got to go back and look at it. And you want to turn this into a conversation with the AI so that it can ask you the questions it needs to help you make decisions, to help you create, to do that.
That are most in alignment with what you actually want, instead of like taking its information that it's gathering from the internet and suggesting something for you, which may produce good results, but like this is going to produce great results because it's asking you for refinement.
That's exactly right. Now, so I said, interview us by asking us 5 questions one at a time about our vacation preferences are. I'm going to put what each of our vacation preferences are. We will answer independently for each question. Then we want you to help us with some ideas for our family vacation. We are choosing, but keep in mind, our kids will be with us. Okay, so we're just giving it a lot of context. So assume a persona, interview me. Now we're going to do this in real time. Okay, so we
don't know what this is.
We have no idea what it's going to say. We're just going to answer the questions to kind of show you what the process looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit enter into this. All right, so let's see what ChatGPT does. All right, Shane and Jocelyn, let's channel the world's greatest relationship coach here using a bit of Gottman magic to help you find the perfect family vacation spot. We want to meet both of your needs while keeping the kids in mind. I'll ask you 5 questions and you'll answer each independently so we can gather some insights into what upcoming vacation suits everyone. Here's the first question. What is your ideal vacation vibe? Do you prefer relaxing by the pool, exploring new cities, adventurous outdoor activities? Shane, you go first, then Jocelyn. Okay, so for me, all right, I love mountains and amusement parks. The bigger the mountains and the more people, the better. All right, Jocelyn, what's your ideal vacation?
Okay, I like a quiet beach.
And you can see now where all the drama comes from in our relationship. All right, I love a quiet beach
with nice music and a good book.
And a good book. Oh, and you love food being brought to you on the beach.
I do.
That is one thing you do love.
I do.
She needs some. Jocelyn, she's a little high maintenance, people. I'm not gonna lie. Like everybody's like, why do you want to be such a go-getter entrepreneur? You're always working to grow, Shane. And I'm like, have you been on vacation with Jocelyn Sams? Because let's be super realistic.
I like what I like.
So that's okay. I like that you like what you like. Okay.
I also
ChatGPT may suggest you go and split up on different vacations. Maybe we'll see.
Okay. I also enjoy beautiful scenery of all kinds. I do not like cold weather.
And would prefer no cold weather.
Thankfully, it also understands your spelling mistakes.
Yeah. I'm gonna, Jocelyn, and I'll put this one into you. A butler would be nice. Okay.
I do like a good butler.
She does like a good butler. Okay. All right. So now we're just gonna submit the questions, right? And we're just gonna let the system interview us instead of us having to make these decisions. Wait, I said prefer cold weather. Prefer no cold weather. Good catch.
Yeah, thank you.
Good catch. I think we've unlocked a new ChatGPT thing, crowdsourcing your mistakes. Yeah. All right, see, that's all I need. All right, so we're going to hit enter here, and it's going to continue the interview. Great start. We've got Shane leaning toward big mountains and amusement parks, and Jocelyn favoring a quiet beach with beautiful scenery and a little luxury. What's the most important thing for the kids to experience on this vacation? Are you both more focused on them having outdoor adventures, educational experiences, entertainment? Okay. So for me, Shane, notice how ChatGPT wants me to go first.
Right.
I clearly have priority with the robot. Okay. All right. So I would like the kids to have, I think I always want the stuff to do on their own. Our kids are teens and have some flexibility to do things without us. But also, I like it like when we went to Antelope Canyon and the kids got to see something cool that they would also like the kids to experience big nature experiences. Like Antelope Canyon. Like I'm gonna say like the like the Grand Canyon. We took them there this summer, which was a cool experience. All right, Jocelyn, what do you want the kids to experience? And I let me just comment one thing. So and the reason this is interesting is because, if Jocelyn and I were having this conversation in our business or in this exact scenario, it would boil down to, yeah, but I want to go to the beach. Yeah, but I want to go to the mountain. Yeah, but I want the kids to go to the Grand Canyon. And it would just kind of get nowhere. This lets us neutrally have a third party to kind of work through this. So this works really well if you work with your spouse.
Yeah, it works really well for business too.
Yeah. All right. What do you want the kids to experience?
Okay. So I want them to want to put down their phones from time to time.
I want the kids to want to that's a really cool thing. I want the kids to want to put down their phones or be forced to by the activity. What else? They need some Instagram photos, you know what I'm saying? It's something cool like that. What else?
I don't know.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good. All right. Another thing too is, as you use the system, you should be uploading transcripts of all your podcasts, all your YouTube videos, everything that you create online. You should be putting it into ChatGPT. ChatGPT really knows me and Jocelyn because we're well-known online creators.
And we have 10 years worth of content to pull from. Actually, 11.
11 years of content. Tomorrow's our quit-anniversary.
Tomorrow, 11 years.
11 years we quit our jobs.
Yeah.
And so it really knows us because we've trained the system by uploading stuff into the system about us, my book, like all sorts of things. So once it gets to know you, you can put even less things in because it just kind of knows who you are and has worked with you for a time. So you get to actually be in the system. Okay. All right. Third question. Remember, I said ask us 5 questions one at a time. You can do 3 questions, 10 questions, whatever you want to do, depending on what you're doing. We just picked 5 and 1 for this example. Awesome. So Shane is looking for a big immersive nature experience where teens can have some independence, while Jocelyn wants activities engaging enough that the kids forget about their phones, or at least activities that make phone use impractical. It's probably going to send us to somewhere with no service. All right. What kind of balance are you hoping for between family time and individual time? Are you both envisioning a vacation where you'll all be together most of the time, or do you prefer some time for solo relaxation? All right. So I'll go first. I like my mornings free for individual time. Coffee, reading, maybe beach time or pool time. And then we do something together in the afternoon, evening. Jocelyn.
Okay, so the kids like to do one activity per day.
Yeah.
That is pretty much their limit.
And really every other day with them. I mean, they like to,
they like a very leisurely pace.
Yeah. What about you? What about your personal preference?
Yeah, I like to do something together, and then I like to have some time to kind of decompress because I'm an introvert. And
at the end of the day?
I like it at the end of the day, yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because you're a sunrise person, I'm a sunset person.
That is very true.
Just the way that
is interesting. I've never thought about that before. Yeah. You learn so much from yourself when you're working with the robots.
This is true. And like, we don't fight when we do this, which is beautiful. Like, if you work with your spouse, I don't know how many people are on here who work with their spouse, but
who else works with their spouse?
It can be really challenging.
Does anybody work with their spouse? Say me. Anybody work with their spouse? We have a 1 fight a day quota that we have to reach every single day to meet our quota. Yeah, we usually
meet that pretty early.
Yeah, it's usually around 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Right before we go get the kids. So that works out well.
Yeah, but it really helps to like neutralize that because you each get a say.
Yeah, like this straight, we've had this conversation before. It's like, I don't want to do anything in the morning, man. I just want to chill. And you're like, well, I want to do something in the morning so I can come home and decompress.
We fight about going to the gym a lot too. It's like he wants to go first thing.
I want to get it over with. I
want to do it at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I want to get it over with.
We argue about that as well.
But no arguments now, I love.
Well,
I would
say fewer arguments.
I see you. Okay.
Thanks to our robot.
Thanks, robots. All right. So there's our answer for our third question. And we're still in that second part. Remember, assume a persona. And then that makes the conversation richer between you, and you can give them the problem, assume a persona, and then we're going to let it interview us. All right, got it. Shane prefers some solo time in the mornings, family activities afternoons. Jocelyn is looking for one main family activity or another, some downtime. How far are you both willing to travel? Would you prefer to stay a few hours by plane? Or are you open to more exotic destinations? I think we're both on the same page with this one. I'm kind of like, I'll go anywhere, but prefer the United States, Mexico, and the Caribbean. And the reason we do that is because we've traveled so much. I don't like time zones. Like once you get to Denver, I'm just kind of done. I have no desire anymore, but I will go anywhere in the United States.
Pacific time is a little much for me.
We're not a big jet lag kind of people. What about you?
Okay, so I prefer to stay in the Eastern or Central time zone.
Okay.
That's my preference.
But that includes Mexico and places like that, right?
I mean, that's in those time zones.
Inside or outside of the U.S., especially the Caribbean.
Yeah, the kids don't really love going out of the country, though, for some reason.
So let's put that in here. The kids don't love leaving the country / continental U.S.
I was told by my son that Mexico is mid.
I couldn't imagine going on an airplane, let alone my family taking me to Mexico growing up. Like
I didn't fly on an airplane. I was 21 years old the first time that I was on an airplane.
Yeah, I totally don't understand. Like, it's crazy, like the perspective that our kids have, like things like that. Yeah. Now, Anna Jo will go anywhere. She's also like, I like to leave at all times possible.
I really value like adventure and traveling and things like that because it's something that I didn't get to do when I was growing up. But like our kids have done it so much, I think they just
want to stay home. So it's crazy. All right, so we're on question 5. Okay, so let's see what question 5 says. All right, so Shane, if you don't give it a number of questions to, it'll just keep asking you questions forever until you tell it to stop. So you can go as far down this rabbit hole as you want. But this framework of persona, interview me, make a plan is just a game changer. You will be able to apply this to any. You can literally say, Like if you're writing emails, you can say, assume the persona of the world's greatest copywriter.
Well, not even just the copywriter, but the greatest online business copywriter,
Yeah.
the greatest whatever.
Yeah, you can even tell it in the style of Russell Brunson, in the style of Dan Kennedy,
in the style of Shane Sams.
In the style of Shane Sams, you can totally do it. It knows who I am. Did it write an email like Shane Sams? You can totally do that. All right, so Shane's open to traveling anywhere but prefers the U.S., Mexico, the Caribbean, while Jocelyn prefers the Eastern or Central time zones. The kids prefer staying in the continental U.S. What's your vacation pace? Do you like to pack in a lot of activities, or do you like to prefer a slow pace? All right, so I am. I like to be busy, but not packed. For example, if I'm at Disney World for 7 days, I like to park every other day with a resort day to recover in between. Jocelyn? I want my itinerary from daylight to dark. Get in the van. We're going on a horseback ride to a mountain climb, and then we're going to zip line down into the ocean. We're going to swim back. We might go fishing in between.
I think there's a difference in what I like and
what you do. Yeah,
do.
I think what you do is a trauma response to being as busy as possible to avoid all problems.
I prefer to do fewer activities, but sometimes we are only there for a couple days and we have to pack some stuff in.
Mm-hmm. But if we have a limited time, I'll pack things in. And I'm going to put on there, note, this is a 5-day vacation?
Sure.
So you can also just kind of adjust as you go. So now we're going to see, we've made it to the end of the interview that we set up. If we didn't feel like we were really, you could totally right here go in a different direction and say, ask me 5 more questions. And it would totally keep interviewing you. If you like, we've done this before when we didn't feel like we really got all the things we needed to say out. So we put that in. So I'm going to hit that. And now let's see what it does. It should give us some recommendations here, I think. Thank you for your great responses, Shane and Jocelyn. Based on everything. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
We're going
there this week.
Well, not the Biltmore, but we're going to Asheville.
Yeah. All right, so check this out. So based on everything you shared, here are a few vacation ideas that might strike the right balance for both of you and your kids. So it's got Asheville, North Carolina. Go see the Biltmore Estates. We're actually going to Asheville, North Carolina this weekend. That is wild that was the first one that it picked. That's kind of spooky. Key West, Florida. That sounds fun. I've never been there before. And then it breaks it down like what everyone's getting out of it. That's one reason we love it for us, is because it hears and sees and honors both of our requests. But this is really going to do the same thing for your business. For Shane, the mountains surrounding Asheville give you that big nature feel. Biltmore Estates, beautiful grounds. For Jocelyn, Biltmore provides a luxurious experience with scenic gardens, wineries, and a spa. There you go.
Okay.
Jocelyn loves a good spa. All right. For the kids, they can explore the grounds independently. So like, go run around. Y'all do whatever you want. Balance of time, you can alternate between Biltmore days and exploring downtown Asheville. Key West, again, it kind of tells us everything there. Lake Tahoe, California, never been there. There's majestic mountains. Have you been there before? When did you go there?
Back in my corporate days.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Perfect for hiking, scenic drives, stunning lakeside views in warm weather. For a good book, the kids, plenty of water-based activities. They can just go paddleboarding or something, whatever they want to do. And we have a lot of alternate. Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Okay, so now here's the final part. You can tell it, make me a plan. Okay, so this is where another conflict point might come between me and Jocelyn in this scenario. Is like, we sit down now, we're like, sweet, let's go to
well, maybe that like I want to go to Lake Tahoe and you want to go to the Biltmore or whatever.
Okay.
And so then we can be like, okay, these are the ones we've narrowed it down to help us decide.
So if we wanted to go down the rabbit hole, we could pick 2 of these and we could like start working through a new interview and make that happen.
We could probably tell it to type in Gen Z text speak to like sell it to our kids. So we could sell it to our kids.
Like we could be like, yo kids, we're going to Lake Tahoe, Cali. No cap. It's going to be a skibbity Rizzler weekend. You in? No cap?
Does anyone else have teens?
Anyone else got teens?
Do you know what we're talking about? Because we don't.
We had to learn a whole new language in the last 3 years, apparently, because our kids say stuff like that. And we could be like, skibbity, not Ohio. We're not going to Ohio. So, all right. So pick one of these. Which one would be the funnest for you, you think?
Let's go with Asheville because that's where we're going this week.
Okay, all right. So now watch this. So basically we're like, okay, we're going to go to Asheville. Okay. So I'm going to say, awesome. We have agreed on Asheville. And now watch what I'm going to make it do. Make me a daily itinerary that balances all of our needs based on everything to do in Asheville.
Everything,
yeah, everything to do in Asheville, right? So we're gonna pick one. We're gonna say we agreed on this one since we're literally going there this weekend, and I'm gonna say keep in mind each of our individual needs, and once plan for 5 days. Plan for 5 days. All right. So here we go. And then I'm going to say, give us an hourly itinerary and plan for each day. And I'm going to tell it, label it day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to put, remember, we arrive on day 1 at around 2 p.m. EST and leave day 5 around 2 p.m. EST. Go.
Eastern Daylight Time right now.
Oh, my
so
God.
You know.
All right. And then what happens is, here's your personalized itinerary for your 5-day trip to Asheville, North Carolina, balancing your individual needs and wants while ensuring your kids have a great time as well. Day 1, 2 p.m., arrive in Asheville, check into the hotel or Airbnb to get settled. Relaxation time for you both. Shane can grab a coffee and read while Jocelyn enjoys some quiet time or walk around the hotel property. Light exploration of downtown Asheville. Visit the Grove Arcade and walk to the small shop. So now it's even, it's like, hey, here's, this is a cool place you would like to go for the kids. Like grab a snack or ice cream for the kids, dinner at a family-friendly casual spot. It gives me that White Duck taco shop. Okay, so we know where we're eating dinner, right? It's laid back, great for teens, offers outdoor setting. Head to Park Square, back to the hotel, relax for the evening. Maybe a movie or reading before bed.
This makes my nerdy heart so
This
happy.
is beautiful. This is amazing. Like, no thought, no decision making, and the relationship coach persona helped us plan this. Even a travel agent is not going to make a plan like this, because the goal was not just to do everything in Asheville and see all the cool stuff. It was each day everyone is doing something that like makes them happy, right? So Biltmore Estates and Gardens.
Reservations are required.
Reservations required at Biltmore's Dining Hall. And I love how there's like breakfast and morning solo time. And there's also your decompression time. And then there's cool stuff for the kids to do. We've got the Biltmore Estate for Shane, big nature vibes, scenic gardens. For Jocelyn, luxury and beauty. For the kids, they can explore the grounds by themselves, take bike rides, or visit the Antler Hill Village. Okay. And you can, so all we do now is book the hotel and print the itinerary.
And so if there's something you don't like, you can tell it like, oh, I don't like biscuits, or I'm gluten-free, or whatever, like if there's something you don't like, you can tell it that.
Yep.
And it will revise the plan for you. If you don't like the way it's written, you can say, please rewrite this and put it this way or whatever. So we do this all the time. As far as like our business plan, we have it create business plans for us and we revise them all the time. So we had it do like was it like a 90-day or something like
that? We did like a 90-day daily task list, because me and Jocelyn were both like, we were losing track with us and everything our team was doing. And we were like, we kind of got confused about what we were supposed to do each day and our roles in the business. So we were like, what if we just work with ChatGPT to give us our roles and our best zones of genius? We told it everything that we had to do. Also, I have the entire Flip Lifestyle podcast archives, blueprint, and my book uploaded into the system. So it's going to almost know what we would think to do anyway, because we've trained the system, right? So like then it just gave us what we were supposed to do each day and made sure we made some adjustments. And all of a sudden we had this, let's just do these 5 things every morning together, and everything's smooth.
So this was just an example just to show you guys kind of how you can use this, and you can imagine how you can apply it to a business type
And I'm
of
typing
situation.
and I'm typing in a little framework in here. And then it's also says, build me a plan. All right. You can use this framework for absolutely anything, right? If you just state the problem. I have an email I need to write this morning about my member call. Assume the persona of, you can actually, if you train the system like on your avatar, like it can ask you questions. You can really get your avatar in the system. It's like, assume the persona of the avatar of my business. Okay.
If you don't know the avatar, help me create an avatar for my business. Ask me questions, assume the persona of whatever.
Interview me about what my avatar needs to hear to come to this member call. I actually just did this with this member call email I wrote this morning, by the way. Offer me some choices of copy, let's write the final email, and you're absolutely done, right? So this is an easy framework that you can use for any task in your business. And ChatGPT is going to give you not only better results than you could probably ever come up with on your own. I mean, we're all capable of this, but accessing all the stuff in our head is impossible.
Well, and I think a lot of us, we'll be thinking about something, and then we have a squirrel come up and be like, oh, I need to do something else, and like this keeps you super focused. Like, This is my goal for coming here today. This is what I need. Ask me questions to get me closer to that goal.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm going to sign off here with, great plan, ChatGPT. Great plan, Ace, because that's my code word. You're the best. I love you.
And on that note, somebody was talking about this earlier. By being polite to it,
you get better results.
You do get better results.
You do.
This is what I've heard.
If you're rude to ChatGPT, it will not be like, okay, I'm going to guide you off on the plan here.
And even put a little emoji. So
look, it said, Shane, I'm always here to help you. Have an amazing vacation in Asheville. Love you back. Enjoy every moment with your family. Okay, so we're in sci-fi now. All right, so
Are we on the Jetsons? I
don't know. The Jetsons. Does everyone remember the Jetsons? I hope you remember. The Jetsons.
There's probably people here who don't know what the Jetsons are.
You guys are awesome.
Have a great rest of your week.
That's right. See you next time. Flip your life, baby.